Hi, hello. So we are going to make the continuation of our macrame belt. You can see we have here a triangular effect with the heads all pointing to this side, the heads of the square knot. And in here we have another triangle with the heads of the square knot all to this side. Now in here we have also half a triangle with the heads to this side, and here we have half a triangle with the heads of the knot, the square knot to this side. Now this gives effects of great beauty, and don't think that this is I put it here like that so it is more visible, but this is flat, this is completely flat, still visible, but if we make it like this, the shadows will give more to the camera. So all this is to the camera, so you to be able to see and appreciate properly this effect. So now I had here half a triangle, one complete triangle, and then I close it with half a triangle again to make a coherent set of effects. So I have, with this one I have finished this. If I was to make the continuation of the belt, of course that I could make it without, not this one. This one will go to another triangle, or as anyone wishes actually, but I will do it all complete. But I'm finishing here, and I'm going to make another effect in order for us all to see some other effect. Now in here I would like to make a stop continuation of these knots. I could make some usual knots like this and then to come again, but because everybody knows how to do that, I'm going to make a set of different knots in here, so to separate this effect from the next effect. So let's begin. Usual half knot, now I'll do the knot not around the two in the center. Now usually this was made around these two, right? But now I'm going to make the square knot under these two knots. So you see in here under I have the square knot. Why I'm going to do this? Because now I do another half knot. So in this knot we have 3 half knots, and we have another macrame knot. Very interesting. I'm going to make 2 or 3 rows of this knot just to separate from these effects. So if you want to know more about this knot, just see my video on the secrets of square knotting. Secrets of square knots. These are old knots used by sailors. Sailors do macrame, but they don't call it macrame, they call it square knotting. They have developed many interesting knots, or if you like more properly, variations of the square knot. That's why I call it secrets of the square knot. So I have explained this knot in more detail here. We just go lightly on it, and because this is too small we cannot actually appreciate entirely the beauty of this knot. See, I had to pull it again because this is very slippery. These strings, the material of this is very interesting. It has a glow, light. Yes, a light glow. Oh no. So that was a mess in the strings, and so I do it like this. Is the best way to take out a mess is to open it and to do like this, and it will go for itself mostly. Oh no, cannot forget what I'm doing. So now I'm going to do the knot, but not around the two center, just under the two center strings. And it is. Now only now I come to catch it again. And it is. So after this we will try to make an effect different from that one, but with the same. So here is exactly the same. We change these, we do it all right. So I have to pull this well. Now here is the same thing. Actually the movement of this half knot is exactly the same. The only difference is that it does not catch these two. So it's very interesting, and there is nothing to it actually. Very simple. All right. All right. I felt something in here, but I was with the impression that it was a knot, but no, it was not. If there is a knot on these strings that can be made spontaneously, it is very bad, because around that knot a mess can originate. So if we feel something in the hands when we pass this string, that it feels like a knot or a small mess or something like that, we have to undo it immediately. Cannot left to later. No, it has to be immediately made. All right. And now the third half knot. These knots of the old school of macrame, they are very useful. And I don't understand why no one, or almost no one, used them. It's something that is beyond my knowledge, beyond my understanding. How it is possible that such beautiful pieces of work have passed unnoticed and are almost in oblivion, right? It's very sad. On the other hand, I have a huge joy, to show these knots. It's like the perpetuation of something important, you know, something that will be behind me, right? When I'm gone, these knots will stay. It's impressive, right? Because hopefully by that time many artists, many macrame artists will make use of them. That gives me a certain consolation. Because sometimes I've made more than 100 kilometers just to meet people who have told me that they have old knots, old macrame pieces, old things made by knotting. You understand? So I have made a tremendous effort to discover these knots and to have them, and to make one row more, just for us to see the effect of this knot, and then we'll start making effects. So now I have the opportunity to share. It's amazing, right? And it is extremely important. I value YouTubers, macrame artists very much. I value all my colleagues. It is impressive. We are a family. We are a family of knotters, and in our hands, actually, is the future of this art. Interesting, right? Of course, everybody knows this. But actually, we all know, but I think that we don't think much about it, right? We don't see how deep implications these things can have. So in one day, almost no one, for instance, this disc knot, just 2 days ago, we couldn't find it, right? And suddenly, I have the honor to be me that presented this. And in a few days, or in a few months, or in a few years, or in a few seconds, I don't know, it will be spread all over the world. All over the world, millions of macrame artists will start using it. And that gives me an I don't know, an emotion, a very strong emotion. Very strong emotion, actually. It's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. I never told you how I became a macrame artist. It's very interesting, right? Well, I have some photos one of these days. I'm going to see if I can make an magnifying copy, an enlarged copy of the photos, so to show you how it was. But I tell you briefly. I was selling in a street market, and I sell incense. That's right, incense, perfumes. Those things we have for washing, soap, right? Oh, I hope I'm not distracting myself too much, because here in these knots we have to be very concentrated. Well, anyway, so I sold everything that was aromatics for put on the clothes, soap for washing the body. So I have all those stuffs. And one day, the man that was the employee of the street market, he came to me and he said to me, "Look, mister, I have bad news for you." Oh no. Speaking of bad news, it was, see, it was undone. And he said to me, "Well, next month I will not give you a license for you to sell anymore." And I was speechless looking at the man. And he told me, "There are superior orders. Nothing new can be sold on this street market anymore." And I said to him, "Well, and now what I'm going to do?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, you have only two chances. You can sell antiques, because that's what is the allowed product, antiques, or you can do handicrafts." And I stood in silence looking at him, and he said to me, "Don't you know how to do anything?" And suddenly I remember, I was making a mistake here. And then I remember that I have learned some macrame basics in school, right? Like everybody, I guess. And just for not keeping my place in the street market, right? I said to him, "Well, yes, I know how to do macrame." And he said to me, "Oh, those things to put the plants, right?" And I said, "Yes, exactly. I can do that." "Well, if you can do that, I give you a license for you to sell handicrafts." And it was, I'm talking too much and I'm already making things wrong. You see, in this knot, I forgot to make the third half knot. And believe me, I was so happy, so relieved that I was not without any chance to make money, right? That's how I come to the macrame world. And so I did it. I sold those things for put plants hanging. I did it for many years. And then I started to become more enthusiastic. I was to the Central Navy Library, and I've been there many hours studying. And that's how I discovered the sailor's knotting, sailor's rose knotting, sailor's diamond knotting, sailor's rope end knotting, mat making, well, everything, even rope making. I can, have to be careful. I'm distracted too much. Alright, so in here you can see we have already, so the effect is very clear till here, and in here we have a plane, and because this knot has too little, it does not have one big head. It has a small head to one side and a small head to the other. So it is very plain. As you can see, in here there is no effect. So we have an effect here, and here, oh, we don't have effect. It is plain. Oh, amazing, right? That's right. Well, I hope I didn't have miss anything. And you see how beautiful this macrame knot is? It looks like a star, right? Looks like flowers. So you see it here, one head to this side, one head to the other side. It's very impressive. Well, now we are going to make another effect with usual macrame square knot. So this is an old school macrame knot that I have introduced it here. 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows. Oh, impressive, I'm impressed. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, well. So in here, in order to make another row of effects, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is for real. That's the way I work. I know that sometimes I have to undo things and things don't go very well, but actually it is by learning and seeing what things go wrong and how we can turn it over to become good that we can learn the most, right? So what I'm going to do here is just a normal square knot. And I have 6 minutes. Oh, impressive. Well, I could finish this video, alright, because I'm here in an interesting place and I could begin another one just with the new effect. But so I have one knot, then another knot. I like very much to do a losangle, but I don't think a losangle is made with a pair knots. I think it's with an even knots. I don't remember it. Actually, I don't remember it. So I have to try it live for all of us to see and share. All right, I'm opening my heart to all YouTubers. So if I do anything wrong, please don't laugh much. Please don't laugh, because I don't do macrame for a long time. And actually, I'm here in the middle of the epicenter of this COVID-19. That's right, they've opened it, the confinement, they've opened it and it was really bad. And now they are confining it again. So I'm obliged to stay at home again. I'm just in the middle of the worst place. And that is terrible. So one of the main reasons, alright, that I am doing this for all of us is because of this confinement. So just give it a discount, please. So let's think what we are going to do here. So in one we have 3 knots and in the other row we have 4 knots. No, we have 1, 2, 3. Aha, exactly. I'm seeing here in the beginning. I think it's too far away, but it is clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am here now in 3 usual square knots. So now if I want to make an losangle, oh, interesting. So for making a losangle, actually I can begin this in the middle. Of course. How do I do this exactly? So I begin here and start coming till these with all to the same side, and then again finishing them to the same side. And how about these ones? So if I have one to one side, I have to have 2 to the other side. Aha. Okay, that should be. So I have to undo here these ones. So I have to undo it after all. Oh, but take a good notice. If I didn't made it, I could not think about it. You understand? So this is useful for macrame artists. Sometimes we have to do just one row or two and then to think about it. And we can think about it looking at what we have. It's much more precise than to imagine. Never try to imagine macrame or knots because it is always wrong. Always. And sometimes we think that we cannot do it and actually can, or sometimes we think that we can do an effect that we want and actually we cannot do it. So in macrame there is no imagining, there is testing. So here I'm going to make this knot to this side. 1 minute. Alright, let me see if I can finish these two knots. Alright, so I have one knot to this side, one to that side, and now I have to do this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yes, I have to do it to this side. Alright, let's find it out. 4 seconds, so thank you for watching and see you in the next video where I'm going to make the continuation of this effect. 20 seconds. Can still do it. Alright, so here we are. Thank you, bye. It's good looking, right?